the cheers were gone. Every time Hardik Pandya touched the ball, thousands of voices drowned out the stadium, not with applause but with boos. Cameras followed his every move. Social media exploded with criticism, and every decision he made was questioned. For many fans, he wasn't just having a bad season. He had become the villain of Indian cricket. Yet just months later, those same stadiums echoed with chants of his name. The same player who had been written off would lift another major trophy, lead from the front and remind the cricketing world why he was once considered India's greatest all-round talent. How does a player go from hero to villain and back to hero again? This isn't just the story of a cricketer. It's a story about pressure, mistakes, resilience, and one of the greatest comebacks modern cricket has ever seen. Because before the trophies, the headlines, and the controversies, Hardik Pandya was just a young boy from a family that could barely afford to dream. A dream bigger than his circumstances. Hardik Pandya wasn't born into luxury. He grew up in Vadodara, Gujarat, where his father, Himanshu Pandya, made a bold decision that changed everything. Believing his sons had cricketing talent, he shut down his small business and moved the family to give Hardik and his older brother, Krunal, better opportunities. It was an enormous gamble. Money became tight. There were times when buying new cricket equipment wasn't possible. The brothers often shared gear, traveled long distances for practice, and focused on one thing above everything else: getting better. Unlike many future international stars who followed carefully planned coaching programs, Hardik's game developed through fearless instincts. He loved taking risks. He wasn't interested in surviving at the crease. He wanted to dominate. That attacking mindset would eventually become his biggest strength. But before the world admired it, many coaches questioned it. The boy who refused to play safe. Most young cricketers dream of making the state team. Hardik dreamed much bigger. Even as a teenager, he believed he could compete with the best. Confidence wasn't something he learned after becoming famous. It was always there. Sometimes that confidence looked like arrogance. Sometimes it looked reckless, but it also allowed him to attempt shots other players wouldn't even consider. His coaches often had mixed feelings. One day he'd produce a breathtaking innings. The next day he'd throw his wicket away trying something outrageous. Consistency was missing. Talent wasn't. The challenge wasn't teaching Hardik how to play cricket. It was teaching him when not to attack. Those lessons would take years. The IPL changed everything. Every generation of Indian cricket has one tournament that transforms unknown players into national stars. For Hardik Pandya, that tournament was the Indian Premier League. In 2015, the Mumbai Indians spotted something others hadn't fully recognized: raw power, fearlessness, and the rare ability to contribute with both bat and ball. At first, he wasn't expected to become a superstar. He was simply another young player trying to earn his place. Then came one unforgettable innings. Against Chennai Super Kings, Mumbai found themselves in serious trouble. Pressure was everywhere. Hardik walked in with almost nothing to lose. Instead of playing cautiously, he attacked one of the strongest bowling attacks in the tournament. His fearless stroke play completely changed the momentum. Suddenly, commentators, fans, and selectors were asking the same question: who is this guy? Within a single season, Hardik Pandya had become one of the IPL's biggest discoveries, and India had started paying attention. Wearing the Indian jersey. Making your international debut is a dream. Living up to it is something else entirely. Hardik entered the Indian team at a time when expectations were enormous. Indian cricket already had legendary batters, world-class bowlers, experienced leaders. Finding a permanent place wasn't easy, but Hardik offered something unique. India had been searching for a genuine fast bowling all-rounder for years. Someone who could change games with both bat and ball. Hardik looked like that player. His aggressive batting added firepower to the middle order. His pace bowling gave captains another valuable option. Perhaps most importantly, he wasn't afraid of pressure. Whether India needed quick runs or an important breakthrough, Hardik wanted responsibility. That mentality quickly earned the trust of teammates. But success also brought something else: expectations. And expectations in Indian cricket can become overwhelming, becoming one of India's biggest match winners. Over the next few years, Hardik produced performances that justified the hype. He played fearless innings under pressure, delivered crucial overs in tight matches, and developed a reputation for changing games in remarkably short periods of time. Fans loved his confidence, his celebrations, his energy, his willingness to take responsibility when matches were slipping away. He wasn't trying to become the next Sachin Tendulkar or the next MS Dhoni. He was creating his own identity, an explosive all-rounder capable of turning impossible situations into unforgettable victories. For a while, everything seemed to be moving in one direction, upward. But professional sport has a cruel habit. It tests athletes when they least expect it. And Hardik's biggest challenge wasn't an opponent. It was his own body. A serious back injury threatened everything he had worked for. Suddenly, the player known for explosive pace bowling struggled to bowl consistently. Questions appeared everywhere. Could he still be considered a genuine all-rounder? Would he ever return to his best? Some critics believed his career had already peaked. Others wondered if India needed to move on. What happened next would define Hardik Pandya far more than any century or five-wicket haul ever could, when everything started falling apart. Professional athletes often say that injuries don't just damage the body. They attack confidence. For Hardik, back surgery in 2019 became one of the biggest turning points of his career. The explosive all-rounder who could change games with both bat and ball suddenly couldn't perform the role that had made him special. His bowling became limited. Questions about his fitness dominated every discussion. Every poor performance brought new criticism. Had India invested too much faith in him? Could he ever become the player he once was? Then came another setback. After leading Gujarat Titans to a dream IPL title in their very first season, and another final the following year, Hardik made one of the most controversial decisions of his career. He returned to the Mumbai Indians. On paper, it looked like a homecoming. In reality, it became a nightmare. Replacing Rohit Sharma as captain shocked millions of fans. The backlash was immediate. Every stadium seemed hostile. Every mistake was magnified. For perhaps the first time in his career, Hardik wasn't fighting bowlers. He was fighting public opinion. Before we continue with Hardik's story, quick break. If you're someone who follows cricket closely enough to watch a full video like this, you've probably thought about betting on a match at some point. And if you have, the app you use actually makes a big difference. I've been using Mega Parry for IPL and international matches this season. No deposit limits, fast withdrawals, and odds that are genuinely competitive compared to most other apps. If you want to try it, use code INDM when you sign up. It doubles your first deposit automatically. So whatever you put in, you start with double. Now back to Hardik's story. From villain to champion. By the start of 2024, many believed Hardik Pandya had lost the support of Indian cricket fans. Every match seemed to generate new criticism. Social media was flooded with negative comments. Even neutral stadiums echoed with boos. For most athletes, that kind of pressure would have been overwhelming. But Hardik had faced adversity before. Instead of responding publicly, he focused on his cricket. The ICC T20 World Cup became his opportunity, and he grabbed it. Throughout the tournament, Hardik contributed with both bat and ball. He delivered important breakthroughs when India desperately needed wickets. He scored valuable runs under pressure. Most importantly, he stayed calm during the biggest moments. Then came the final against South Africa. With the match slipping away, India needed someone to produce something special. Hardik answered. His disciplined bowling during the closing stages helped India defend an almost impossible total. As the final wicket fell, everything changed. The same player who had spent months hearing boos now stood at the center of India's celebrations. The criticism hadn't disappeared, but the respect had returned. Not because people felt sorry for him, because he had earned it. More than just talent. Looking back, it's easy to focus on Hardik's powerful sixes, his athletic catches, his match-winning spells, but those moments only tell part of the story. His career has never followed a straight line. It has been filled with injuries, failures, controversies, leadership challenges, and constant expectations. Yet each setback revealed something important. Hardik's greatest strength wasn't his batting or his bowling. It was his ability to keep moving forward when almost everyone expected him to fail. That's a quality statistics can never measure. the legacy he's still writing. Unlike many cricket legends, Hardik Pandya's story isn't finished. He continues to play at the highest level. He continues to evolve as both a player and a leader, and every new season presents another opportunity to rewrite his legacy. Some fans will always remember the controversy. Others will remember the trophies. But years from now, one thing will probably stand out above everything else. Whenever Indian cricket needed someone willing to take responsibility under pressure, Hardik rarely stepped backwards. He stepped forward. Sometimes he succeeded, sometimes he failed, but he never hid. And in elite sport, courage is often remembered just as much as success. Every great sporting career eventually reaches a crossroads, a moment where talent alone isn't enough, where character matters more than skill. Hardik Pandya reached that crossroads in front of millions of people. He experienced the highest highs and some of the lowest public moments an Indian cricketer can face. Many players never recover from that kind of criticism. Hardik did, not by talking, not by making excuses, but by letting his performances speak for him. Whether you're a fan of Hardik Pandya or not, his journey reminds us of something much bigger than cricket. Success isn't measured by how many times life knocks you down. It's measured by how many times you're willing to stand back up. And perhaps that's why his story continues to inspire so many people. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more incredible stories from the world of sports, where we explore the journeys behind the headlines and the moments that define legends.